For the best price, click the link in the description. Are you tired of worrying about your bike getting stolen while it's parked on the street? I know I was. That's why I decided to put my Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock to the test and see if it really lives up to its claims. But here's what surprised me when I started using it. This lock is a beast, not just in terms of security, but also in terms of durability and convenience. Therefore, today we're going to dive deep into the world of bike locks, specifically the Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock. We'll look at its features, pros, cons, and what real users have to say about it. But before I get into all that, let me ask you, are you looking for a reliable way to secure your bike without breaking the bank? The Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock has been getting a lot of attention lately, but does it really deliver? There's one thing I want to make clear from the start. I'm not here to sugarcoat anything. If this lock falls short, I'll let you know. But what I will say is that the Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock promises top-notch security with its 14mm thick steel chain and M24 pin lock. That sounds impressive, right? But can it really keep your bike safe? Now let's take a closer look at this lock and see if it lives up to its claims. First off, I want to talk about the build quality of this lock. When you hold it in your hand, you can feel the weight and durability of the steel chain. It's not flimsy or lightweight like some other locks on the market. But what really caught my attention was how easy it is to use. Just wrap the chain around your bike frame and secure it with the pin lock. Therefore, let's talk about its features and see if they stack up against other top-rated bike locks. The Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock has a number of features that set it apart from the competition. 14mm thick steel chain for maximum security. M24 pin lock for added protection against sawing and cutting. Reinforced links to prevent damage. Weather-resistant coating to protect against rust and corrosion. But what about its durability? Some users have reported issues with other locks breaking or bending under stress. I'm curious to see if the Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock can withstand the test of time. In my testing, I subjected this lock to various scenarios. Locked in a high-traffic area, exposed to harsh weather conditions, and even used it as an anchor point for a makeshift bike rack. But what about its price? Some users have complained that this lock is overpriced compared to other options on the market. Is it worth the investment? Now, let's talk about what real users have to say about the Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock. I've gathered feedback from various online forums and review sites to give you a well-rounded picture of its performance. Some users rave about how easy it is to use and how secure they feel with this lock on their bike. Others, however, have reported issues with the pin lock getting stuck or the chain developing kinks over time. But don't just take my word for it, check out some of these user reviews. I was a bit skeptical about spending so much money on a lock, but this thing is a beast. I've had no issues with it and feel confident that my bike will be safe. I love how easy it is to use, but the pin lock can get stuck sometimes. Not a deal breaker for me though. I'm not impressed with the durability of this lock. It developed kinks after just a few months of use. Therefore, based on my testing and user feedback, I'll give you my verdict on whether or not the Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock is worth your hard-earned cash. But before I wrap up, let me reiterate that security should be a top priority when it comes to protecting your bike. This lock may not be perfect, but it certainly has its strengths. For those who value their bikes and want a reliable way to secure them, the Oxford Nemesis Chain Lock is definitely worth considering. So what do you think? Have any of you used this lock before or have experience with similar products? Share your thoughts in the comments below. For the best price, click the link in the description.